Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We've got some breaking news here today for Palantir, and that news is that Palantir Foundry is launching an entire custom conference called FoundryCon. Interesting stuff. They teased this with a little video yesterday talking about how there's going to be this 3-day event and all this stuff is going to happen, and no one really had any idea what they were talking about, and the PR comes out today after that video yesterday on Twitter, where Palantir acknowledges or announces its FoundryCon US customer conference will be open to shareholders, global customers, and the press and general public for the first time on October 27th. By the way, October 27th this year, 2022, is when I will be turning 25 years old as well, so super cool that it's being done on my birthday. The exclusive conference for C-suite executives from Palantir's current and prospective customers will also be the company's first in-person customer conference since going public in 2020. Obviously, COVID happened, and so they haven't been able to have really anything in public with the press and media since then, and it's first specifically tailored to the U.S. commercial market. CEO Alex Karp will open the program in a fireside chat with Mike Allen, co-founder of Axios. If you don't know what Axios is, it's a big news media company. It just sold, I think, for $550 million a couple months back. So obviously a very, very important person in the press will be interviewing Palantir CEO Alex Karp. Following the discussion, customer keynote presentations will be delivered by Jacobs. This is from Jacobs Engineering, Morgan Stanley, U.S. Space Systems Commands, Apache, National Cancer Institute, NIH, and Tyson Foods. And the information to actually sign up for the live stream is there. It's also going to be on YouTube, so it'll probably just show up in your feed. So this is really interesting. A couple of points of analysis on this, and then we'll kind of get into my overarching thoughts. Number one, I like that they're bringing out more people. So you've got Jacobs Engineering. We've known them been a client for Palantir for a long time. Morgan Stanley, Shyam Sankar, the COO of Palantir, did a conference with Morgan Stanley back in February. I actually forgot that Morgan Stanley was a client of Palantir, but they are. And so that's going to be an interesting customer presentation. You have places like the National Cancer Institute and the NIH. There's so many different diverse groups of people that are going to be presenting, from commercial to government. You have the U.S. Space Systems Command that recently gave Palantir a $43 million contract back in December 2021. And so I'm assuming individuals from these organizations, commercial or government, are going to be stepping up and giving a presentation, basically a sales pitch at the end of the day, for why Foundry has been successful in their enterprise and what Foundry has been able to do for them. For the U.S. Space Systems Commands, as I've analyzed that deal a while ago, it's basically making data-driven operational decision making in the context of either mission critical stuff in space or just data you're getting from space to be able to make decisions for like national security events, hurricanes that are coming up, things like that, more effective. For something like Tyson Foods, it would be about supply chains and logistics and using Foundry to make that more effective. So I think we're going to get some really unique presentations by people talking a lot about what's going on in the company, or how the company is affecting and helping them at the end of the day do what they need to do. That's the first thing. Second thing is Alex Karp doing another interview with a very, high-ranking person in press and media. This will be his 6th interview in about 5 weeks. What does that mean for earnings, and what does that mean for them doing this before earnings? Earnings is going to be November 7th. This is being done 10 days before that. I think, and this is my naive sort of just assertion out there. This is not backed up by too much logic or warrants. I think earnings is not going to be that bad. Like, in a world in which they are this public, to the point where they're having an entire conference before earnings, and Alex Karp has done a massive press run. He's gone literally all over the world to be able to, he's gone from Switzerland to the UK to different parts of the United States just to talk about the philosophical nature of data privacy, security, ethics, like what Palantir is doing. He's boasted about U.S. commercial government progress, and how they're growing 67% year over year. Palantir just released the Hertz partnership last week. Like, there's just so many pieces of news that have come out that it would lead me to, and even, he was asked explicitly by CNBC, do you think demand is slowing down for a product like yours in the US? And he said, no. He said, we actually think demand is going up and we're not seeing any significant decrease. So if that's the case, I don't think Q3 earnings are going to disappoint. Do I think it's going to move the stock up dramatically? No, but do I think they're going to be as bad as they were Q2, where they barely beat on revenue and the operating margin sucked and all this stuff happened and he was banging on tables? I don't think it's that type of a quarter. I think it's actually a better quarter for them. I just don't think they would be this public. The devil's advocate is they're doing all of this stuff because they know how bad it's going to be, and they want to like blow they want a cushion for when they fall, and say, hey, but we're doing all this stuff even though earnings sucked. I kind of think earnings are going to be good. So those are my overall thoughts. The final thing I'll say is I'm very happy they're doing this. We need more people to learn about Foundry. We need more developers to learn about Foundry. We need more of the software to get out there into the world. We need mainstream A+ customer clients talking about how they're using Foundry to more and more people. This is an in-person conference. A lot of deals and networking gets done in person. So just them being more public. I mean, Amazon does these, and there's like 50,000 people that show up to these AWS conferences. So it's nice to see Foundry and Palantir step into that arena, and hopefully this can expand and grow over time. So those are my thoughts. Thanks so much for listening and so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on what you think about the Foundry conference coming up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.